Welcome back to the channel. My name's Jose Najarro and I am a self-taught investor looking for investment opportunities for my long-term portfolio. Today's episode is one I'm super excited about. It's my monthly recap of my portfolio. We're going to take a look at my winners. We're going to take a look at my losers. We're going to take a look at all my positions and the strategy that I am using right now to beat the market. So before we get started, make sure to smash the like button to help with the YouTube algorithm. And on the descriptions and the pinned comment, you should also see a link to my Discord channel and also a link to Webull.com. If you sign up with that link and deposit $100, we both could get a free stock. Sometimes they even do a special where we might get 2 or 3 free stocks. All right, like I mentioned, today we are gonna do an update of my portfolio. Right now is sitting at about $62,000, and this is pretty amazing, right? Every time I'm doing these videos, I'm just seeing the overall growth, seeing how my strategy is working, and that's why I enjoy doing these episodes. And for those that don't know, I have 3 accounts right now. Even though I have 3 accounts, I manage them all as one unit. And obviously, thanks to fractional shares here in the United States, it makes it so much easier to handle even a small portfolio as a big portfolio and pretty much act the same in all types of different sizes. So you're going to see one of my portfolios here is the super small one. And I actually created this portfolio because I always get a lot of questions asking from friends, hey, even if I had a little bit of money, can I make money in the stock market? And the answer to that is obviously yes. I mean, here we can see in this account that I'm sitting at right now, my smallest one is sitting at $4,000, like I mentioned, and that account is up $1,200. So originally I only deposited about $3,700 in that account, and over time, building it up, it has grown to $4,000. So that's a big difference. That's a huge gain, right? From such a small position, and that's pretty much the main reason why I have the different position sizes. So here like I said, I've been doing this on a monthly basis, keeping track of how my winners have been doing and how my account has been doing for the past few months. So starting on June 20th of 2020 was, I think, my first time I did my portfolio update. And at that time, my account was up $5,000. Fast forward a month later, July 30th of 2020, my account was up $8,840. Fast forward to early September, my account was up $14,400. And now fast forward to the date we're at right now, my portfolio is up $18,000. And that's pretty insane, right? Because if we take a look at SPY since September 2, when my account was up 14,000, compared to now when it's up 18,000, the SPY has barely moved. It's actually down 0.66%. So that shows me, right, that my overall position right now, the strategy I'm doing is working right now. And here I just have timestamps right of my portfolio so you guys can see. And like I mentioned, $18,000 gains right now, and my position is sitting at about $62,000. So I also wanted to take a look at my portfolio and see how it's doing compared to the overall market. Obviously, I want to be able to beat the market, and that's why I'm doing this. It's not I wouldn't consider it an active portfolio because I'm not buying and selling every time. I'm usually just buying, so I wouldn't really consider it an active portfolio, but I am actively managing it myself. So here I have the 3 accounts, right? So my big account right now, which started off, right, total deposit has been $27,600. If I would have put that money into the SPY, into an overall index fund and 100% index fund on stocks, that account would have been $31,100. Well, right now it's actually sitting at $36,500. It has 31.6% gains compared to the overall ETF, which would have been 12.76. So I'm doing 3 times better than the overall market in the big account. Then if we take a look at the medium account, same difference, right? Here we can see we're doing 2 times better, and in the small account we're actually doing 4 times better than the overall market. So here it tells me, it's giving me confidence that, hey, the overall strategy that I'm doing is working. And now you're going to ask, Jose, what is your strategy and how has it changed from last time? Well, it's pretty easy. My strategy has not changed at all from the last time I showed my strategy, and I talk about my strategy on a monthly basis. The first thing, invest on long term. So I put money to work every single week. And every single week, I'm looking to buy a new stock. Second thing, come with an open mind. There's no one way to invest. And a lot of people might tell you that, hey, to have a great portfolio, you only need to have 10 positions in your account. If you have more than 10 positions in your portfolio, it's going to do bad and you're not going to have life-changing money. But I mean, we can see here from my overall account being up $18,000 and sitting at 62, that is life-changing money to people. So there's no one way to invest. I do have multiple positions in my account, but I also understand that there should be some form of tightening within it, of some concentration. My top 25 positions actually make up 71% of my portfolio, and my other 33 positions make 29% of my portfolio. And then I always get a lot of people, hey, Jose, you have about 58 positions. Why don't you just invest in the overall SPY? Why don't you just invest in some index? Well, we can see right now with the market beat that I am doing better than the SPY. And why is that? The first thing is, yes, even though I do have a lot of positions, 58 positions, most of my positions would be classified within certain markets. Those markets are the esports gaming, the cloud servers, tech components, cloud security, and pretty much the e-payment and e-commerce. Those make up a huge portion of my portfolio. So even though I am in multiple positions, I am in very concentrated markets. So that's it, right? Open mind. There's no one way. You can have a 10 position portfolio, you can have a 25 position portfolio, 100 position portfolio, and I do believe you can still beat the market. So there's no one way to follow. If there was a one-way system, everybody would be following it. The next thing is take out emotions. The worst thing that comes in this game, in the strategy world, is having the emotions play with your positions, having weak hands, believing you might be too overexposed, so when the stock market drops, you start selling for a loss. The way I take out emotions, like I mentioned in almost all my videos, is different for every investor. For me to take out emotions, I have multiple positions. Not one of my position is over 10% of my portfolio, and that helps me out. Diversified in markets that I see are growing dramatically. That's why I'm in the esports. That's why I'm in cloud servers, in tech components. These are the markets I believe are gonna grow dramatically in the upcoming years. These are the ones that are in the disruptive markets. These are the companies I invest in, are companies that I believe are going to be the leaders in these markets. So that helps me take out the emotions. Next, due diligence. Due diligence. Every company in my portfolio, I have done some form of analysis or research on it before adding to my position. It's not like I go on YouTube and search some random guy and then from his video, it makes me want to buy a stock. No, I do hours and hours of analysis before I even open up a position. And let me move back to the multiple positions. I talked about weak hands, and weak hands actually works in two scenarios. Weak hands work when the stock price goes down, but also weak hands work when the stock price goes up. If you're too overly exposed into one position and that position goes up 25% and you're like, oh man, I have to take out the money now because if not, I'm going to lose all my losses. You're going to have weak hands pull out, and next thing you know, that position goes up 60, 70, 80%. So you missed out on that gain because of those weak hands. So weak hands are both in the downturn and in the upturn. The final thing, like I mentioned, is with the due diligence. I buy companies in the following: ones that are in the strong market, ones that have high revenue growth, ones that have strong balance sheet, and I also continue to buy my winners. I dollar cost average on all my companies. Sometimes I buy my companies when they're doing dramatically. I recently purchased Nvidia, Techie, and I forget what other company I recently just purchased. All of these are doing amazing on my portfolio already and have done great gains. But even though I'm still adding on to them, I usually buy more on my winners than I do on my losers. All right, so next, let's take a look at my top 5 winners. But before that, guys, you guys should check out my second channel, Jose Najarro Entrepreneur, where every Sunday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I drop a new video. I just dropped one yesterday. Make sure to go check it out. Support the channel. I truly, truly appreciate it. And if you guys want to continue to support the channel, make sure to smash that like button and also check out the merch of Self-Taught self-taught investor. All right, so let's take a look at these top 5 winners. And I'm having them compared to my top 5 winners of a month ago. And this shows you how things move. So a month ago, my top 5 winners were Sea, Fastly, Square, AMD, and Huya. And those 5 winners made up $5,200 of gains, of just pure gains. This month, my top 5 winners have actually changed dramatically. I think only one, actually 2 of them are still in my top 5 winners. But CRNC is my number 1 winner right now. Then we have Celsius, my number 2, followed by C, followed by PDD, and followed by Square. Those top 5 now make up $6,700 of my gain. So that's insane. Just these 5 positions make up 1/3 of my total gains. I also want to take a look at my top 6 to 10 winners, and don't worry, later we're going to look at my overall positions. So my top 6 to 10 winners a month ago were Roku, Celsius, CRNC, Activision, and Microsoft, and that made up $3,100. My top six to 10 winners now are AMD, Roku, Google, NIO, and Spot, and that makes up $3,821. So we can see that my top 10 winners make up about, I want to say, $10,000 to $10,500 of my total gain. So more than 50% come from my top 10 winners. And I'm gonna get probably these questions. So Jose, see, why didn't you just concentrate and invest in those 10 winners and you would have been doing amazing? Well, yeah, that's obviously would have been the best thing I could have done, but I don't think I personally would have chosen these exactly 10 stocks to be the only 10 positions in my portfolio. I might have gotten lucky and chosen a few, but I don't believe I would have ever chosen this perfect 10. For example, PDD is one of my smallest positions, but it is one of my biggest winners. And in my regular portfolio, if I only had 10, 15 positions, I don't think PDD would have ever made it in that portfolio. But let's also talk about the losers, right? Because there are losses in this game. Unfortunately, I erased my last month's losses, so I was able to find September's losses. But at September's losses, we saw that on September 2nd, my overall losses were $1,100. And this was $913 of realized losses and $240 with unrealized losses. Losses right now in the update is $1,300. So we can see my overall gains from September have gone up. How much did I mention? September they were 14, now they're 18. So my gains have gone up by almost $4,000, but my losses have only I've only lost an extra $200. So I'm really liking how those numbers are looking right now. Most of my losses right now, my biggest loss right now is Intel Corporation with a $200 loss. I also have Ping in here, Dropbox, TWOU, and Tattoo Chef. And you can see Tattoo Chef is my 5th loser, but that's only a loss of $55. Is that even really considered a loss? That's pretty much a volatility move, a day movement at the moment. So now let's take a look at my positions. Like I mentioned, I have 58 positions, and here you guys can take a look and take a pause and see all my positions. First, you can see I have some dark green. These dark greens are my top 5 winners. You can see my top 5 winners are my number 1 position, my number 2 position, my number 3 position, my number 15 position in size at the moment, and my number 18 position size are my 5 top winners. So that's crazy, right? That shows that even a small position can end up being a big mover in your portfolio. We can see PDD originally cost basis was less than 1% of my overall portfolio, and now it is my top 5. It's in my top 5 winners. Then I have my top 6 to 10 winners, and we can see that's my number 4 position, my number 8 position, my number 9 position, my number 13 and 19. Again, right, my number 19th position is one of my top 10 winners. And I do have a tier kind of levels with stocks, and I have 9 tier 1s. And obviously, if I was doing well, I would wish those 9 tier stocks would have been in my top 10 winners. But out of that tier 1, only 1, 2, 3, 4, only 4 of my tier 1s are in my top positions. So this tells me one thing, that I'm not a horrible stock picker, right? I can see that by my type of returns, me beating the market, and the overall strategy that I'm doing, that I'm not a horrible stock picker, but I'm not a genius when it comes to it, right? And that's why I have those strategies to help me mitigate those risks. Because if I was the best stock picker, these tier 1s would have all been on the top 9 winners, right? Those would have been the top 10 stocks in my portfolio, but they're not. On red, I have my top 5 losers. And as you can see, my losers are small positions. And the reason is, if they're losing right now, I'm not going to go out and buy them unless I truly like them right now. For example, Tattoo Chef is one that I'm adding onto, but I don't think I will add any more. It's only sitting at 1.43% of my overall portfolio. I don't think it's going to go much higher than that. If anything, maybe I might just buy it one more time later next week if it's still at these prices. But after that, I'm ending. We have Intel Corporation, one I don't mind holding, but not one I'm thinking of adding anytime soon. Same with Dropbox, same with Ping, and same with TWO. So that's pretty much my positions right now, my overall portfolio. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to post in the comments. But you're more likely to get me on my Discord channel. You guys should see the link down below. Again, don't forget to smash the like button, and don't forget to check out that second channel and subscribe. I truly appreciate it, guys. Take care, have a good night, and see you next time.